23 places to travel without a passport from the U.S. in 2023. Whether you lost your passport, forgot to renew it, or haven't gotten around to even acquiring your first passport, it doesn't matter. There are still some fantastic places to travel without a passport from the United States. U.S. territories. The U.S. has 5 overseas territories that are relatively accessible for Americans without a passport. U.S. territories to visit without a passport. Puerto Rico. Of the many places to visit without a passport, Puerto Rico is among the best. The Latin American island is the largest U.S. territory, with flights landing in San Juan daily from most major airport hubs in the United States. Once you're in Puerto Rico, the diversity of experiences is endless. Explore the distant islands of Vieques and Culebra. Go surfing in Rincon. Hike to historic lighthouses near Cabo Rojo. And even paddle atop bioluminescent bays, a rare phenomenon found in 3 separate locations in Puerto Rico. Other hotspots include the tropical rainforest of El Yunque, historic landmarks including El Morro, a Spanish fortification built in 1539, and many serene waterfalls hidden within the mountainous landscape. St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Although within the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix is off on its own 45 miles south of St. Thomas and St. John. Because of this isolation, the island's communities have developed a unique cultural identity heavily reflected in the island's cuisine, music, and experiences. But let's not forget about St. Croix's incredible beauty and rich history. White sand beaches line the coasts while hiking trails weave along the island's ridgeline. Buck Island Reef National Monument is an uninhabited island with one of the territory's best beaches and a dazzling coral reef. Christiansted National Historic Site provides a glimpse into life in the Danish West Indies beginning in 1733. Salt River Bay is another bioluminescent bay and the landing site for Christopher Columbus during his second voyage to the New World. Northern Mariana Islands. On this list, the Northern Mariana Islands are by no means the easiest to get to. After all, they're a small string of islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But if you're up to the task, they are incredibly gorgeous, with sandy shores and amazing water sports activities like scuba diving, snorkeling, kayaking, and sailing. The island is filled with friendly people and plenty of Polynesian cultural opportunities. World War II memorials are scattered along the islands as the territory once was a brutal battleground. Other natural features include hiking trails to the highest peak of Mount Tapachao, a massive underwater limestone cavern known as the Grotto, and plenty of marine life, including friendly sea turtles and reef sharks. St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. If you want to visit a wonderful Caribbean destination, St. Thomas might be among the most accessible places to travel without a passport from the U.S. U.S. citizens do not need a passport to visit the U.S. Virgin Islands from the mainland. St. Thomas is the most populated and busiest island within the U.S. Virgin Islands. The territory's capital city and largest community, Charlotte-Amalie, overlooks a large protected harbor with 2 bustling cruise terminals and a large airport. You'll find plenty of activities scattered around the island, including some of the best beaches in the Virgin Islands, like the iconic Magens Bay. World-class hotels and resorts line the island's beautiful East End, and dozens of exciting boat tours depart their marinas. Guam. Guam is usually the most recognized of the 3 U.S. territories in the Pacific Ocean. It's also the easiest to get to, with flights typically departing Honolulu, Hawaii, regularly. To travel to Guam without a passport, you must be careful not to enter any other country on a connecting flight. You must depart from Honolulu. Once you've arrived, prepare to soak up the beautiful beaches along this gorgeous tropical island. Outdoor lovers enjoy Guam with its many hiking trails and ocean sports activities. St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands. Of the 3 main U.S. Virgin Islands, St. John is easily the most natural and possibly the most beautiful, featuring some of the most stunning beaches in the Caribbean. The vast majority of the island is protected via Virgin Islands National Park with an array of pristine beaches, epic hiking trails, and fascinating remnants of the Danish West Indies. The 2 main towns of Cruz Bay and Coral Bay are starkly different. Cruz Bay is one of the liveliest villages in the Caribbean, while Coral Bay is a reclusive community seemingly forgotten. American Samoa. As of 2022, entry requirements for U.S. citizens visiting American Samoa are more stringent. Yet, according to the U.S. Department of Interior, it's still possible to enter the country without a valid passport. Possessing a government-issued ID, certified birth certificate, and a ticket for onward passage out of American Samoa within 30 days makes travel without a passport possible, albeit difficult. Along with the Northern Mariana Islands, it's the most challenging U.S. territory to visit, with only 2 direct flights departing Hawaii per week. But if you get there, you'll be rewarded with stunning beauty, some of the best beaches in the world, and authentic, native Samoan culture. Closed-loop cruise destinations without a passport. Ship. What is a closed-loop cruise? A closed-loop cruise begins and ends at the same port, making plenty of stops in foreign nations in between. Many closed-loop cruises enable travel without a passport to the stunning Caribbean and Central American countries. Page facing up. Required documents. To board a closed-loop cruise, you must present a government or state-issued ID and an original birth certificate as proof of citizenship. Passport control. Passport still recommended. Although this cruise style doesn't require a valid passport, bringing one along is not a bad idea. Imagine missing your boat in a foreign nation with no passport to fly back to the U.S. Bermuda. British overseas territory with pink sand beaches lining the coast of this popular cruise destination. Bermuda is a popular destination for closed-loop cruises departing the northeast coast of the United States. The British overseas territory is rich in colonial history, unique architecture, and stunning natural wonders. Among them is Crystal Cave, a deep cavern glistening with stalactites and blue waters. Dominican Republic. Large Latin American country in the Caribbean with white sand beaches and Spanish colonial architecture. Cruises visiting the Dominican Republic typically stop in Santo Domingo or Punta Cana. Santo Domingo is rich in Spanish colonial history with impressive sites like Alcázar de Colón. Meanwhile, Punta Cana offers serene beaches with turquoise waters lapping the sand during a cruise stop. British Virgin Islands. A stone's throw away from the U.S. Virgin Islands is Tortola, a popular closed-loop cruise destination. Many closed-loop cruises visiting St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands also make a pit stop in Tortola within the British Virgin Islands. Cruisers will unload in Road Town, the country's capital city, before departing on island tours to scenic views and secluded beaches. The baths on nearby Virgin Gorda are the most popular attraction within the island chain. The Bahamas. Large archipelago nation in the Atlantic Ocean with pristine beaches near multiple cruise ship ports. The Bahamas are one of the most accessible places to travel without a passport from the U.S. Many cruises departing Fort Lauderdale or Miami make a pit stop in Nassau before embarking further into the Caribbean. You'll even find short weekend cruises into the archipelago for a quick getaway. In the Bahamas, you'll discover beautiful coastlines lined with mangroves, white sand beaches, and colorful coral reefs close to shore. Additionally, each cruise line has its island to stop at, including Disney's Castaway Cay and Royal Caribbean's Coco Cay. Jamaica. Closed-loop cruise ships make frequent stops at this large, beautiful Caribbean island. Jamaica has 2 cruise ports between Montego Bay and Kingston. Aboard a closed-loop cruise, travelers can enter the country without a passport and explore the mountainous landscape peppered with coffee farms and waterfalls. Ocean-based activities are also popular, like snorkeling and sailing. Belize. Go scuba diving during a cruise stop in this Central American country. Thankfully, cruisegoers without a passport can still enjoy the top thing to do in Belize. Scuba dive the Blue Hole. This once-in-a-lifetime dive is reachable from Belize City, the country's principal cruise port. The mesmerizing dive site is an open-water sinkhole descending over 400 feet in the middle of a pristine coral atoll. Costa Rica. This Central American country is a tropical paradise suitable for nature lovers with its exotic animals and biodiversity. Many closed-loop cruises leaving California's Pacific coast make their way south to Costa Rica, specifically Punta Arenas. From there, you can enter the country without a passport, gaining access to the Central American country's protected rainforests, pristine beaches, and diverse wildlife viewing opportunities. Honduras. Enjoy legendary diving without a passport in Roatan during a cruise stop. Closed-loop cruises departing South Florida often visit the Bay Islands of Honduras. The most famous are the popular diving destinations of Utila and Roatan. Along these islands, you'll discover dazzling sections of the Mesoamerican Reef, the world's second longest barrier reef system. St. Martin. St. Martin is one of the northernmost islands in the Lesser Antilles and Windward Islands. Most famous for its pristine beaches, the island nation shares dual ownership, with one half a French territory and the other owned by the Dutch. Cruisegoers will likely port in Philipsburg on the Dutch side, where they can explore cobblestone streets and enjoy duty-free shopping. Other activities include hiking, beaching, and hopping aboard a boat tour. The Cayman Islands. The island nation's cruise port is in Georgetown, where passengers unload to discover the pristine waters, many endangered species, and other spectacular ocean-based activities. Turks and Caicos. British overseas territory and archipelagos south of the Bahamas with beautiful beaches. Closed-loop cruises give American citizens a chance to enter the country without a passport and discover the secluded shores of Grand Turk. Mexico. Mexico has many options for American citizens to visit without a passport via a closed-loop cruise with destinations like Cozumel, Cancun, Costa Maya, Cabo San Lucas, and Puerto Vallarta consistently on itineraries. Additionally, American citizens can visit Mexico by land without a passport, granting them access to other sections of the culturally vibrant country, including Mexico City and San Miguel de Allende. However, remember that you will need a passport card if visiting the country by car. Canada. Visit Halifax in Nova Scotia without a passport aboard a cruise. Similar to Mexico, admittance into Canada without a passport requires a birth certificate and passport card if traveling by land. Sometimes, people living close to or working across the border are granted special admittance. As an American citizen, you may visit Mexico or Canada without a passport by closed-loop cruise or car. Places to travel in the USA without a passport. Hawaii. No U.S. passport is necessary to visit the 50th state and its many tropical places. As the 50th U.S. state, a passport is not required to visit the beautiful islands of Hawaii. All you need is a government-issued ID for air travel, and you're good to go. The culture of Hawaii is markedly Polynesian, making it a unique escape from the continental U.S. Hike up volcanoes on the Big Island. Go surfing in Maui. Or lounge on the beach in Honolulu. Hawaii has everything you'd need for a fun and exciting getaway. Alaska. It's hard to fathom the large scale of Alaska. This state is absolutely enormous, with much of it unreachable and yet to be explored. However, with regular flights to Anchorage and many cruises visiting the likes of Juneau and Skagway, we have plenty of beauty and culture to explore. The Florida Keys. 100-mile-long string of tropical islands offering a Caribbean vibe within the continental United States. The Florida Keys are beautiful, with crystal blue water and outstanding deep-sea fishing, scuba diving, snorkeling, and kayaking adventures. Drive the entire 100-mile length of the Overseas Highway, beginning in Key Largo and ending in Key West. Upon arrival, enjoy the historic buildings, cool rum drinks, and lively atmosphere of the small pirate town. Or visit South Florida. As they say, the best part about Miami is that it's so close to the United States. FAQs about travel without a passport. What Caribbean countries do not require a passport? Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands are two Caribbean countries that do not require a passport for American citizens when traveling by air or sea. Essentially, these countries are regarded as domestic travel within the United States. Do you need a passport for a closed-loop cruise? In most cases, you do not need a passport for a closed-loop cruise. However, it's always advised to travel with your passport as regulations in visiting countries may change, or you may miss your boarding time. Can you visit Mexico without a passport? American citizens can visit Mexico without a passport by sea aboard a closed-loop cruise or by land using a passport card and birth certificate. If you visit Mexico by plane, you will need a passport. Can you visit Canada without a passport? American citizens can visit Canada without a passport by sea aboard a closed-loop cruise or by land using a passport card and birth certificate. If you visit Canada by plane, you will need a passport. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for our next videos.